Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back. I'm back with another video here for some of the older horror films that I've been going through by Hammer Films. But for those who are new, I like to make these little videos about things that I like and like to share, such as films mainly, but not exclusively, occasionally a game or some arts and crafts or even some books, which I did in my previous review. And if you're new here comes all that YouTube stuff. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing as well as hitting that bell icon so you'll get notifications when I put up new content, which is usually once or twice a week, though I do try to work in some additional stuff as I can if I come across it. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video and share both this video and channel around, as it really does help the channel quite a bit. Okay, now that that's all out of the way, so as I said on my previous video, which I will link to any of the ones that I reference in my description here, I've been working my way through all those Hammer horror films, and the box set that I bought turned out to have not just horror, but some comedy and thrillers and action adventure as well. So I was able to track down some of what I was a bit more interested in initially, which were the horror films. Got my hands on some copies of all the old Hammer Dracula films from the 50s and 60s, and I've been slowly making my way through them. So I went through the first one for Dracula with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Enjoyed it. It's a pretty nice film. So now I've got two more in the series that I wanted to have a very quick word about. The first one is for the Brides of Dracula from 1960. This one does not have, it doesn't have Christopher Lee in it because Dracula's dead by this point. So it's a bit of a different film, but the official synopsis is: vampire hunter Van Helsing returns to Transylvania to destroy handsome bloodsucker Baron Meinster, who has designs on beautiful young schoolteacher Marianne. So I made it through the film. It was alright. There wasn't really a whole lot to say about it. I kind of feel like after the first Dracula film that they did, this one was kind of just filling in some gaps or trying to, I guess, kind of capitalize on it, and it didn't really pull me in that much. But of course, it was really cool seeing another, film with Peter Cushing and getting to, enjoy some more of his earlier work. So just for that alone, it was definitely worth checking out. Plus, a lot of these older films, just the whole way that they wrote them, I really enjoyed. And, this one was okay, though ultimately I would say it was skippable. But then today, finally got around to watching another one from the list, which is for Dracula, Prince of Darkness from 1966. Now, Peter Cushing isn't in this one, but Christopher Lee does come back to reprise his role as Dracula. The synopsis for this one, which is very short, simply states, Dracula is resurrected, preying on 4 unsuspecting visitors to his castle. So, some of the things that I really liked about what they did with this film was we get back into this idea that I always find most important in horror is this sense of being trapped. So, we have these visitors who are kind of stranded in this area and come across Dracula's castle. They've had all the warnings from like townspeople and everything, and it's, again, it's an alright entry. It was strange that they waited so long between one film and the other to create this one, and unfortunately it doesn't have Peter Cushing in it. But overall, it was really interesting. One of the scenes that sticks out the most is actually resurrecting Dracula. It kind of reminds me of a scene from Hellraiser where Frank is resurrected by some blood spilling on the floor and kind of, reconstitutes himself in a way. Though it wasn't as gross as that, this one being from 66. So this one, it's literally blood being poured into this coffin, kind of like a sacrifice, and then Dracula slowly coming back. Cool way that they did it was for most of it, it looks like one shot. They do have a lot of smoke and other things coming in to kind of disguise when they're switching out different parts of the effect, any kind of stop motion stuff they might be working in there. So it worked. The scene was a little bit long to show him coming back, but it worked out very smoothly, and I'm sure, especially at the time, people hadn't really seen this kind of effect done. And like lots of the other movies, I really enjoyed how it was filmed, how they used color, and I really feel like coming off of the Brides of Dracula that I wasn't that impressed with and feel like it's very skippable. This one, I enjoyed it enough to feel like I'm a little bit more excited about checking out the rest of the Dracula films in the series. And of course, after that, there'll be the Frankenstein films as well. I got several of them to check out. So, just wanted to do a very quick video about those two things. Brides of Dracula from 1960, it was so-so, though ultimately skippable. And Dracula, Prince of Darkness from 1966, which was much more enjoyable and feels kind of like it's getting back to its roots of what Dracula is, and it has me excited about seeing the other films. So if you have access to this one, I definitely say to check it out. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this quick little video about those two films. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, follow all that YouTube stuff where I mentioned giving it a thumbs up, subscribing, sharing. It really does help out the channel quite a bit. I'm still trying to build my subscriber base so I have a larger audience to create these little videos for. Anyways, that's all I have for this quick and very dark, as far as the light goes, kind of video. And I will see you in the next one.